Hey everybody, welcome to the EBIC Podcast. My name's Eli, Ben, Isaiah, and Chuck.
Alright, boys and girls, get ready to watch this video.
Yeah, this is Isaiah not dying in Monopoly.
Okay, you're in country, dude. Live a little. Now she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay? All right. Oh, crazy kid. Oh, awesome! It's like a dream! It's like a dream! Woo! Yeah! Bear!
Oh.
God, oh man, I hit that little thing. Oh my God. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Listen. This is my first ride on. Oh God. Oh God. Okay, pal. You know what? I'm gonna take care of this. I'm just gonna put you out of here.
Yes.
Misery, okay? Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix it. No more pain, I promise. No more pain. You're going to a better place now. Hold it here. Be back soon. It's like a dream. Over. No. Shut up, man. I know it hurts. I know. Just keep it to yourself. Sorry. Pull it together. You're okay. It's over, G. What's up, y'all? Oh, snap. Me and Cheap drinks a lot over here. We just play a few and, you know, glug. Right?
I think that was Isaiah very well.
Yeah.
Very well represented him.
It was, that stormtrooper was everybody else just trying to end you.
Let's talk about the Monopoly. Let's talk about Monopoly here for a minute. So, Ben, how did you enjoy going to the debt? Almost $8,000. I actually have the exact same amount. I still have it written down.
You know, it almost became a win to see who could go into the deepest debt at that.
Yeah, like
And
we lost, but in our minds, we're truly winning
Yeah.
in debt wise.
I felt good about the amount of debt I accrued during that game.
To Gracie, I was in debt $8,322, and Chuck, I was only $514. The honeypot 15, and Isaiah 0.
You know, I owed Isaiah 0 also.
Yeah.
My numbers are on my phone, so I can't see them right now. But I was close to what you had. But definitely still had 0 to Isaiah.
No, I think nobody was in debt to me.
I think somewhere in there, you guys stopped playing Monopoly and started playing Go for Broke.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But Isaiah, he somehow, he had no houses. He was basically out, but somehow.
I had no property, nothing.
So let's walk through the strategy of how you played this game of Monopoly.
Well, I decided to acquire some properties, specifically all ones of just one, I guess, of a certain color, all 3 cards, and I bought houses for those properties, and I guess I don't really know how I didn't go in debt. I guess it's because
Kept unluckily landing on every
I
free parking.
landed on the free parking. I got the honeypot several times.
So
I don't know. I just had lucky landings all over the place.
it's important to know So this Monopoly game, I was the first one out. I just got raped. I had to sell all my houses,
Yeah.
but I got knocked out super fast.
Way faster
Then-
for you.
Then Eli came in a little while behind me.
Yeah.
But then Isaiah, he lost his houses and then his property, but he stayed in the game
For
with
like
money
3
for
or 4
like
hours.
hours.
Well, can I say this? So he started off with 3 of the railroads and like
I gypped him out of those.
1 or 2 of the like magenta ones.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was going to trade him. I was either going to take the railroads or take the magenta ones, right? And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. And then he has 1 red card. 1 freaking red card. And he's like, this is what I want. He sacrifices everything to get the red cards. And then he loses them. And 2 hours later, he's defeated. But honestly, it was like an honor killing because he was just walking down a whole path of hotels.
It was the most slow, painful Monopoly death I've ever witnessed.
And then Chuck, he unfortunately landed on one of the houses, and
Now, I will say,
Even Chuck.
I did not expect to last that long.
I-
I've never lasted that long in Monopoly.
It's weird because you were the kingpin for a while, Chuck.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You had properties and you had a ton of money.
I
Years.
feel like I had expectations that Chuck might win. Because he had some good properties.
If I hadn't started building houses in the ghetto and just kept building on my other stuff, I think I could have had it. It was when I started adding to the houses and then I got in debt because I used up too much money
Yeah.
building those houses. I think that was my
well,
downfall.
people will automatically go and start buying houses, which was the mistake I made. No, the mistake I made was going for the blue houses. I should have gone for the greens, or like.
But Chuck had some decent properties, including like the entire ghetto.
I had the orange,
lost
the green, and the entire ghetto.
he lost
Lost it all.
everything before Isaiah ran out of money. Isaiah's been playing for 2 hours with nothing but
Nothing to
cash.
his name. Nothing to his name.
And yet
And-
somehow I still managed to have like what was it, like $400 or more.
I mean, yeah. In the end, you landed on Gracie's property, and that eventually finished you off.
Eventually.
Well, and here's
But-
what happened. So, when I died, the only way I could pay my debt was to give everything I had to Gracie. And so she took it and she just built down that whole strip. So he had no choice.
Yeah.
No matter what
But
he did, it would
but
kill
even
him.
then, it took 2 turns to kill him off.
Yeah,
That's funny.
he just would not die.
Yeah, but Monopoly, dude. Honestly, like, you have to. It's all about luck, really. Like, you have to luckily hope to land.
The roll of the die.
I
It's a
know.
game of chance and strategy.
I think it's more fun when it lasts long. Like, it goes so many hours. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we played for probably like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, it was pretty long. Next time, my goal is to make it even longer. But
Michael wants to?
Hmm?
Is that what you said?
no, it's my goal.
Oh, I was like, he didn't even play.
You know,
What do
he was
mean
sleeping on the
wants
couch.
to?
My goal is to make it even longer.
Maybe if you would have played, I bet you would have gone on for a couple more hours. If you would have played, it would have gone on.
Yeah. We definitely need to start earlier next time.
How do more than 4 or 5 people play Monopoly? Like, how do they get the properties? Like, it's just wild.
I mean, it makes it more challenging to have more people.
Yeah.
You know what I heard?
What'd you hear?
That night I went home. I started Googling Monopoly strategies. You know what one of the #1 strategies was for winning? Don't take immunity deals.
Dude, she would have been done if you would have been like, sure. I'd pardon you.
Interesting.
Never do that.
Next
again.
time we know.
I think the other secret to Isaiah's
Was his not paying attention to the game?
yeah.
No, this is Isaiah. That's Isaiah.
I pay attention.
This is Isaiah. He's like on his phone,
And then
sleeping on his
Yeah.
phone.
I was not sleeping.
Wake up, Isaiah. It's your turn. Oh, okay.
I was not sleeping.
Let me take my money.
Sell everything for the red property
Yes.
and don't
Because
pay
it's my
attention
favorite
to the
color.
game.
That's my favorite color, everyone. Red is my favorite color.
murder weapons. Possible murder weapons. Ben, go first.
We all know this story.
I think we all know Ben's the only one that ever found a possible murder weapon.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You don't want to go first?
Would you?
No, I'll do it. Okay, so this a in Kentucky where I'm from, because it definitely wasn't here. My name is Jim Jones.
You get a knock on the door, but
We'd like to talk to you about the murder weapon.
What's the statute of limitations on murder weapons?
Well, it's been 37 years since it happened. so
Yes, this
sure.
was in 1983.
Yes.
In
In 1983, when we just got done watching Back to the Future.
I was about 45 years old at the time.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so
Just off the cotton farm.
just off the cotton farm in Tennessee. Once upon a time,
In Tennessee.
me and not Chuck, and not our sister, and not our grandma, were
Just you.
just me. Yeah, going to supermarket, a very generic supermarket in Tennessee, and
Where they had a lemonade stand.
there was 3 lemonade stands there. On the way there was a lot of law enforcement activity in the area. Lots of sirens and lots of police cars just kind of cruising around. And even though I was 47 in 1983, I had only been driving for, like 2 years. Probably had the mentality of like a 17-year-old. And stop at the gas station at this generic Tennessee supermarket. And I'm putting gas in the car. And in typical Tennessee gas station fashion, there is a trash can at the pumps. And for some reason, I was drawn to a McDonald's bag in the trash can.
Charles Jr.
Carl's Jr. Generic fast food restaurant bag. Generic fast food restaurant bag in this trash can. And I don't know if 43-year-old me intended to eat the contents of this bag or what, but I opened the bag. And there may or may not have been a pokey object with a handle and a
The shiny part.
blade
Interesting.
that I then got very afraid that this may have been used in something that wasn't.
Was it because of the special sauce on it? Is that why you were afraid?
There may or may not have been special sauce on the handle of this thing that may or may not have been in this bag. 48-year-old me with the
Boy, you
mind.
jump in numbers there.
Yeah.
47, 9, 43, 48. Okay.
with the mindset of a 17-year-old, panicked and thought, I'm gonna go to jail for the sticky substance,
The
on
special
this,
sauce.
the special sauce. And so I took the object in the generic fast food bag, and I put it under the seat of my car, and I took it home and cleaned it
With bleach.
with bleach. And I'm thinking in my mind to justify why somebody threw away this object. I'm like, this is just a cheap thing. Like, somebody just tossed it out because it's cheap. It's garbage.
That's a
So
good idea.
then I showed it to somebody else. They pointed out that this pointy object was a SOG brand. And that particular model was about $50.
Not something someone would just throw away.
Wonder if there's any unsolved cases
In
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Totally in Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely. Totally, the name is Tennessee.
So, in another universe, here in New Mexico, one time my dog brought me this strangely wrapped bottle. And my, 25-year-old mind said, hey, this looks suspicious. I should call the police
This was a better
and
idea.
report it.
This was a better idea.
And so I did. And
25-year-old you is smarter than 47-year-old you.
yeah. And so cop came by and he looked at it and he's like, yep, that looks like the drugs. And I'm glad that I took it from my dog before he ate it, because he probably would have died.
It was meth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was wrapped in like those hand warmer. Or no, that was the pee he brought you.
They had, so with the bottle that had the drugs in it, there was a pill bottle with hand warmer wrapped around it with pee in it to keep the pee warm at body temperature. So somebody was
trying to do a
doing
drug
meth
test.
and needed to pass a blood or piss test. And so they had the bottle, and for some reason they ditched it. Maybe my dog stole it from him, quite honestly.
I've stumbled across a couple, maybe, I'm pretty sure. Like, one I was in some place, it was near...
Tennessee?
Yeah, it was in Tennessee, at a hotel, and in the bushes was a bloody machete
Well,
with.
Was it the only Tennessee or only hotel in Tennessee? Is that the motel I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I imagine you can find quite a bit by that.
Oh,
hotel.
yes.
Yeah.
At this motel in
Ooh,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee, in the bushes was a bloody. No, sorry.
Special sauce?
Special sauce.
Covered?
Did you touch it?
Yes.
Did you take it home with you?
Yes.
Where is it now?
Lost and found somewhere.
Yeah, it's also a pointy object.
Yeah. And then another time I found another pointy object I had. It wasn't like newly special sauce, but it was like special sauce within there for a week or two.
Yeah.
So
My story, I don't really have to change a whole lot because I didn't really find a murder weapon, but this kind of fits. I found it in the bushes, so kind of fits you guys' story.
where sharp pointy objects.
What's that?
It tends to be where sharp pointy objects tend to be.
So this wasn't even a sharp pointy object. So I was young. We were at like a homeschool picnic or something in the park back behind the police station, and I was over by the swings, and then like I'm going by the bushes, and for some reason I look in the bushes because that's what people do, right? So then I find this little like almost like a little TV sort of thing, and we couldn't figure out what it was, and my dad took it into the police station, and it was from one of the police cars. Someone had broke into a police car the night before, and then when they went to chase them, they just threw it in the bushes there.
So, on to the next topic is, well, let's do near-death experiences. I like that.
You know, in all my years of of growing up with disability, and all the hard falls I've taken, and just my injuries over the years, thankfully I've never had a near-death experience. I did have a concussion once, but it was pretty mild and stuff.
Okay, so you had a concussion at one
I
point?
did, just a mild one, because I guess I had fallen and I had broken through the drywall, and because I hit my head
That's
pretty
funny.
hard. So,
Yeah.
and it was right in the where the corner is, like with the dashboard. There's those sharp edges, sharp corners, it was like in the doorway. I'd fallen in a doorway and stuff, so I hit my head on the edge, and
How old were you?
I was 17.
Wow.
And yeah, it was weird.
Well, you still lived with your mom at that point, right?
Yeah.
Did she freak out?
No, she was pretty calm, but
Wow.
and
Man, I've almost gotten hit by cars multiple times. One time I almost got hit by a train. I almost broke my neck one time because I fell off the bunk bed and was located and landed on my neck.
So, back up to the train.
Yes.
How did you almost get hit by a train?
Well, one time I was just being stupid, but another I forgot what I was doing. I think I was like riding my bike and I went to go pass, and all of a sudden this train just and like barely missed it. And it's another time I've done
No, wait. You were on your
bicycle.
bicycle
I
by
was
the
like,
train.
Yeah,
You were
and
riding, just cruising next to the train tracks.
no, I went to go across the train and like I saw the like probably like here's the train track. I pass and then this train just goes flying by. So
Did you cut through the guard?
And then one time me and my friend were. What was it? That stupid thing where like you jump
Chicken?
off the train last second, or like
Chicken?
yeah. We're doing that.
I consider any time a bug or spider or insect of any kind gets on me a near-death experience.
well, what? Tell us the story. What happened?
Basically, what happens is I get very scared and I start hitting the general area of my body, taking off clothes if I feel that's necessitated.
No way.
No, like, and here's the thing.
Scream like a little girl.
I still haven't figured out how to tell him in the right way that there's a bug on him, because all I gotta say is, you've got, and by the time I say you've got, he's in panic mode.
So let me throw this little example out. One time, I was driving my little Capri to work, and I hadn't drove it in a little while. It's a little dusty and spidery. I mean, you've been in it, so a little more than normal, because that's just its.
Yeah, that's not the little car.
Well, it's dusty and spidery. So one time I'm driving it to work. I go in, and the lady that I was relieving, she just slapped me across the face and said, "Oh, you had a bug on your mustache." She meant beard, but she said mustache. that specific part stuck with me. But I was fine because it was just smack across the face. The bug went flying. And I was good.
Were you insulted for a second?
That I got slapped? No.
He was glad she saved his life.
Yeah. Had she told me it was on my face, I would have hit myself much harder and screamed like a little girl. One time, I don't know how old I was. I was young enough to enjoy tormenting ants, anthills, and like imagining that I'm God and I'm smiting them with my vengeance. And, we used to get some gnarly anthills in our backyard. And this was the I think it was the big black ants. This particular hill that I went out to feed the dogs or something, and I'm smiting them, these little sinners, for their evil actions, and I'm raining down water on them.
As it should.
Watering the dogs, and then I'm stomping them. But you know, when you stomp ants in the dirt, it doesn't do a lot of good.
It just pisses them
kind of
off.
squishes them down. Like you need cement or something to stomp them effectively on, or at least for a child. I haven't tormented ants as an adult, so. But then my great aunt, was at our house, and the ants had gone up my pants and started revolting against their god.
They were building the Tower of Babel, taking control of heaven.
And so I run into the house crying, and my aunt takes my pants off, and I'm very embarrassed. But she saved me from the ants. One time I was driving a minibus back from a Special Olympics event in Albuquerque, and I've got a few passengers in the seats, and then I've got a few passengers in wheelchairs, and I stopped off at Socorro to stretch and get gas and all that good stuff. So the where you merge back on to I-25 there at Socorro, it's not a real long merge lane, which you don't need it because it's not heavy traffic there. But I'm merging on, and I felt something on my arm, something alive, and I got petrified with fear, and I managed to roll down the window. I stuck my arm out, and I whacked it off, and it was a moth.
Oh,
You're freaking out loud.
It tried to kill me, though. That was its intent.
and it could have killed a whole bus full of special needs people.
Yeah.
Is the thing here?
It was moth in disguise.
Yeah. So one time we're going to Texas to see my older brother, and it's just a long stretch, and it's just like one-on-one, like not a whole bunch of lanes or anything. It's just a long stretch. So we have my brother's mother-in-law, and we're driving along, everything's going fine. All of a sudden, the pickup in front of us takes off this way, and there's a semi-truck barreling right in on us. And so it's coming into our lane. The truck goes this way, we go this way. The driver of the semi-truck fell asleep at the wheel, and he hits, like rocks fly up, it hits our window, it breaks the windshield. He goes off into, it's real soft gravel and that on the side of the road. He goes off into that, and he's just tearing up his truck. Like his truck is sinking down into the gravel and stuff, right? And so the pickup truck it pulls off, and then we get stabilized and we pull off. Then she's all like, it's like, oh, good thing I brought towels. I knew there'd be blood.
What?
So she's going through her stuff, getting these towels to go sop up the blood. Because she thinks this trucker's dead. And when they went back to the truck, like, he was all disoriented because he had fallen asleep and he just woke up when he barreled. But man, that truck was in bad shape. Like, the bumper was all like ripped back underneath the tires and stuff.
That's funny. I knew I needed towels.
Huh? Yeah, she's all, I knew I need towels.
I think
for the blood.
I think she was like, she wanted to see a dead body. She's like, oh yeah.
So then there was another time, and I'm just gonna stick with automobile things. To me, automobile almost deaths are the scariest. If you look up worst drivers in America, you're going to find this lady. Okay? I'm not gonna say her name, but she used to take us to church. Okay? So I want to say it was a Sunday morning she was taking us to church.
I feel like it was a Wednesday.
It was either a Sunday morning or a Wednesday evening. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're all in her great big old freaking Suburban, right? And she's one of these that she's paying attention to what's going on in the back seat. Okay? And she's not paying attention to what's going on in the road, right? So I'm riding up front in the passenger seat. She's driving, but she's having conversations with like the third row back. Okay? And all I see is we are very, very quickly, you know where Edgington RV Park is out on the highway? So there was a truck pulled out there onto the highway, and it takes a little while to get up the speed and everything, right? All I see is we're gonna hit it. Like, we're gonna die, and I can't say anything because I'm just terrified, right? All of a sudden, one of the girls in the back, she just screams, "Mama!" And this lady takes that thing over and like goes off into the median, and she grabs me like this, holding me down. And then we're just sitting there in the median, and she's like, "Nobody talk to me! Nobody talk to me!"
I'm mad at you guys.
She wasn't paying attention. Like, we were all just terrified, right? So that was number 2. The third one, I would say, God, I still have panic attacks from this one. So, back in 2018, we had to go to Phoenix to see my sister in the hospital. And our dad went with us, okay? And he's a scary driver. He kind of gets in his own little zone.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really pay attention to his surroundings, So first, Ben had started off, he was driving, and then where was it? Was it Lordsburg?
I think so.
It hadn't even been that far. We hadn't even went that far. And I had warned Ben. I told him, I said, you may not want to ask him to drive, because I had rode with him recently. Not only that, our older brother had rode with him in Texas, right? And he told him, he said, you may not want him to drive, right? Because his driving is kind of scary. And if something scares Jason, it's pretty frightening, right? So he had 2 warnings, right? And he can defend himself here in a minute if he wants. So he says, hey, Dad, why don't you take the wheel for a while, and then I will try and find the hospital. Now, I could have tried and find the hospital, and we could have all lived, but no, we were doomed to die. So, I kid you not, we're at the gas station. He gets in. In less than a minute, we almost die. He gets pulled out right as an RV is coming, just barreling on us. He pulls out, and I'm just sitting there like,
Your dad?
yes, within the blink of an eye, like back the car up, take it forward, and die. Okay. Then we get to the Arizona border, and I don't know if you guys have seen this. A lot of times when you go to cross borders, there's cops there, like, waiting to give tickets or whatever. You have to laugh about it or you'll cry and have panic attacks and wet yourself. So we're going, and he's doing okay. We haven't died in a while, He's doing okay. We get to the border. He sees this cop, okay? And I don't know how this cop didn't pull him over. I swear I don't know how he didn't pull him over. Because if I would have seen what? If I would have seen cop, I would have arrested everybody in the car. So he slams on the brake, and then he gasses it, and then he kind of whips over, and then he just he tries to kind of play it off as cool, and he's like, I can't find my. And I was like, holy crap, what just happened? How did we not die and how did we not get arrested? All of this right in front of the Arizona cop. Oh, man.
So my defense is, you didn't die, did you?
There's a cop right here, and you win this.
The cop's in the median, like behind the Welcome to Arizona thing, and he just, first he slams on the brakes, then he just guns it, and he's like whipping all over. And thank God there was no other traffic on the road. We would have hit them all. Oh, I don't even know. And I told Ben, I'm like, you gotta take the vehicle back. Like you just commandeer the vehicle, take over. And he just kept, oh buddy, I'll keep driving, buddy.
I think if I was the cop, I'd think you guys were all like on drugs.
Yeah, I would too, or hiding illegals or something, like there's something very suspicious with this vehicle. Let's pull it over. The cop didn't even turn its lights on or anything.
Did he like stare at you, or is he like?
No, like
talking?
I don't know. Maybe he was dead. I don't know. We also almost died in San Antonio. We took a group of teenagers to an Acquire the Fire youth rally, and we hadn't slept. So we took this group of kids. We had not slept in over 24 hours. The other guy that's driving the other vehicle had not slept in over 24 hours. We're driving through the night so that we can get there early. Ben has never driven in a big city yet.
Mm-hmm.
We get into the heart of San Antonio, Texas, which I believe is like the 16th biggest city. And we're getting ready to go on the freeway. And the guy calls us, and he's like, well, it was his wife at the time. She's like, tell Ben to just go. Don't stop. Just go. Just keep following us. So we are merging onto the freeway. He's in a Suburban. We're in the Flex. We're just following, just trying to keep up, trying to live. Because if we would have stopped, they would have been way out of sight.
There was this, leaving the hotel, there was this stop sign that it the stop sign intersected with a on ramp to the freeway. Okay.
Yeah.
And like it cut to a underpass. Like super horrible placement. You would sit at that stop sign for forever.
Yeah.
Just waiting for a break, and then traffic is backed up getting onto the freeway, and it was just a nightmare. And so at that stop sign, I just, when he got an opening, I just hugged his bumper and ran it right behind him.
Yeah, we just went together.
And there was this old lady that I cut off in the process.
She was
pissed.
she flipping us off and everything. And then you're, not only are you under this intense situation of driving, you haven't slept in a day, and you're in a vehicle with a bunch of teenagers. There was some angry moments on that trip.
So I have an activity for us. I know that Chuck knows about this, so he can keep quiet for now.
Okay.
But have you guys ever been to 20q.net?
Never in my life.
Nope. Ever heard of it?
I think I have, yeah.
So 20q.net is one of my first and fondest memories of using the internet. When I discovered that it still exists, I discovered that it came out in 1980. It's been around that long.
This website has?
This website.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like how this is Alexa. Like they've been updating for a while.
Yeah. I mean, they keep it updated and stuff.
Wow. Games played online, 89 million.
Yeah. So
I think like 80 million of those was us.
pretty sure. In my using it used to, I remember it being super accurate, scary accurate, to the point that I have wondered if it was demonic, or if the government was spying on me, or I didn't know. Okay, so we're gonna play through a round. Okay, think of something, and 20Q will read your mind by asking a few simple questions. The object you think of should be something most people would know about, but not a proper noun or specific person, place, or thing. Click the question in the upper right corner for help. Is it classified as animals, vegetables, or minerals?
Like a goat.
Okay, you want a goat.
An animal.
We'll go animal. Do people own it as a pet? Yes, no, unknown, irrelevant, sometimes, maybe, probably, doubtful, usually, depends, rarely, partly.
What'd you say?
I would say something.
Sometimes I would say.
Would you find it on a farm?
Yes.
Is it heavy?
Is it? I haven't picked up a goat.
I mean,
Depends.
They can get pretty big.
I would say maybe.
Yeah.
Can it do tricks?
Maybe. I've seen some.
You can say maybe.
Yeah.
Is it commonly harvested? I don't know what that means.
Like, does that mean do they eat it?
Or milk it or something?
I would say
No.
unknown.
Eli?
Like harvest, like is it like harvested?
I'm
like,
honestly not sure what they mean.
like
by
milk, like they harvest the goods.
I don't know.
I think that only applies to like crops and plant
No,
foods.
wait, no.
I don't know what their definition of harvested is. I don't know what
This
they're
is-
using it.
no, this is
Yeah. Does it live in African grasslands?
no.
I feel like sometimes.
No.
I feel like there's African goats.
No.
Yeah, there is.
African pygmy goat? Isn't that a thing?
Is it?
Is it?
What do you want to say? You want to say no?
No. Is it used by a baby? No, not that I know
Okay.
I don't know. I saw Paul and Sammy with the goat the other day.
Would you use it daily?
of. No.
What?
Is
Is it great?
It can, yeah, some.
Sometimes.
Is it ferocious?
No.
Does it have a bushy tail?
Sometimes.
You sure?
Do goats? No, wait, they don't have tails. No, wait, do they?
They got little tails.
No, yeah, they don't. They don't.
Does it have whiskers? Yes.
They have whiskers?
Yeah, it's a freaking.
Yeah, but I think in this context, whiskers is like a cat or dog. Like,
Yeah.
face.
I mean, they do have those.
Yeah, whiskers.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they do.
No,
They do.
No, they don't.
But they also got these.
That's
Okay.
weird.
But nobody refers to that as the whiskers of a dog. Their whiskers are these.
Yeah, but on a goat,
But no.
that's
But no. But no.
Yeah, I'm going with Eli. It's a big fat no.
Whiskers.
Is it like apples?
They'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
I would bet yes.
What do you want? Yes or
They
sometimes?
live in grasslands too, so.
Just put sometimes.
No.
No.
Wonder how it's 19.
Oh!
Within 16 questions.
Guessing that it's a goat.
What the?
Do you feel like you just got mind raped?
That's. That's crazy. That's fun.
So you were thinking of goat. Can it do tricks? You said maybe 20Q was taught by other players that the answer is no.
See.
Is it commonly harvested? 20Q was taught by other players that the answer is no. What did we put on that?
No.
I think you said.
No, I put no.
or something.
The opinions of 20Q AR are its own and are based on input of other players. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that was 20Q.
It's always fun to go back.
How did you guys feel about that?
I liked it.
Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and remember, being woke means realizing the problems in your life are not your fault. They're everyone else's.
That was great. I liked it.